I am recording. So now this is being recorded. Okay.
Very good.
So let's see if I can get this thing to work. All right. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to go File, Open, right? And I'm going to go to my desktop, find your photo, scan, and I want the upper left-hand corner because I'm going to do the upper left-hand corner, the right corner, and then the two bottom areas. And I'm not sure which is the bottom areas. I guess that's the bottom left and that's the bottom right. That look right?
I think so.
All right, well, we'll check it out and see. So I'm going to click on this.
I brought the original.
What do you mean?
I brought the original, so in case we have to reference it, you know.
Okay, so I select the upper left-hand corner. Probably that makes the most sense. Hit Open. All right, and it opens. I hope you got this scan straight. That is one of the things. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
It's
first of all,
here. If it's not exactly straight, it's representative of everything else I'm going to scan because if I do 100, they're not all going to be dead even. I have to learn how to contend with something that's a little cockeyed.
Well, that's the whole point. I'm going to try to show you. So the first thing is the background on this. Let me start off by saying once you open this up, see, it's still called a TIFF. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Save As. That's the very first thing I'm going to do. Okay, and I'm going to create a PSD file. All right, so I want to scan. I want to hit. Let me name this thing. Call this. Hit cancel. Wait a minute. Let me see. File, Save As. Let's see if that does it. There we go. That's it. Save As.
Save As.
Okay. And what's the matter now? What's going on with my? Come on. Okay. All right. Change it to a Photoshop PSD. That's the very first thing. All right.
Okay.
And then hit Save. So now this no longer says TIFF. It says PSD.
All right.
Okay. So that's your very first thing. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here. The background layer is what this is currently. It's locked. So the first thing you want to do is you want to unlock that layer. The reason you want to unlock that layer is so that you can manipulate the layer.
How'd you unlock it?
There was just, let me go Edit Undo and I'll see if I can show you. Okay, so you see that little lock right there?
Yep.
Okay, you should be able to simply click that lock and it unlocks that layer. Okay, if your version doesn't do it that way, I think you can just double click it and then you can unlock the layer, but that's how mine does it. You just click on the little lock. It's a very important point is that you unlock the layer because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be modifying this layer. All right, so now you're going to go View, Fit on Screen, and your rulers, my rulers are out. If your rulers aren't out, you're going to go to the View menu and you're going to go to Rulers. See the little check mark there?
Yeah. That's
telling you that rulers, they're out. The reason I'm putting the rulers out, see, I just put them away. They're no longer out anymore.
All right.
Okay. So if I want to put them, if I want to bring them out, if yours aren't out, you're just going to go to the View menu, go to Rulers, click, and they come out. The reason that I'm bringing these rulers out is because I want to create a guide. A guide is what I'm going to use to help me try to straighten this picture out. So by clicking up here, I'm going to slowly drag a guide out. There's my little guide. And I'm going to let it sit right at the top of that picture. And I'll be damned, it actually looks like you got it pretty straight right there. Can you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
See how that guide lines up at the top?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a very important thing to get these things lined up straight because when you get into the process of trying to modify these things, you're going to want them to be straight to make it
up.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm now going to go File, Save, and I'm going to save what I got and let it save.
Does that save another one, or does it change the
No, it's just saving this. It's just saving this PSD. All right, now one of the things that I want to do here, I want to go to the Image menu, and I want to go to Image Size, and I want to see what kind of image size you got here. So this has got a resolution of 600 pixels. That's a good deal of resolution, so that's good. We'll leave that alone for the time being. Okay. And it's also a height of 11 inches, and it's also a width of 8.57. So it's 8.5 by 11, slightly larger, and it has a resolution of 600. So you're in really good shape as far as that is concerned.
Resolution, yeah.
Right, because all we're going to do is assemble this thing, and then I don't know what size it's going to end up being, but you're going to end up dealing with that at some point. You got 600 pixels.
You can always shrink it down, but you can never
enlarge with this.
it
Here's the deal: if I wanted to, because this is 600 pixels, I could nearly double the size of this. Because I would be able to take that down to, say, 300 pixels per inch and maybe come close to doubling the size of it. Now, I might not be able to exactly double the size of it, but I would be able to make it almost 22 inches deep, as opposed to this with 600 pixels. You only need to reproduce this offset printing. You only need really around 300 pixels. So you got more than what you need here.
Yeah, they told me, it's for an art book, see, so they told me stay at 600 or greater. Slightly greater.
Okay.
So that's why.
But what size is this going to be reproduced as?
It's like a coffee table book, from what I understand.
Yeah, but I mean, what size?
Oh,
that's something you should
16,
know.
Yeah, maybe 16 inches square, something like that.
Okay. Well, yeah, 8 and 8 and 16. Okay, maybe we could do it.
16 inches square.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, you're cutting it a little bit close, but you might be able to pull it off with this.
Well, yeah, they're not all going to be full page. So they're going to be half page or smaller.
Oh, all right.
So,
okay.
You know,
all right.
600 is going to cover it.
Then we should be good.
They looked at all the scans that I did that were just straight scans. They said everything is great. They're perfect.
All right.
You know.
Okay.
So these just have to match after they're completed. They just have to match what I did.
All right.
You know, which is 600 or greater.
All right. So I really don't have to do anything with this. I'm just literally checking this to see what I got. I see I got a width of 8.5. 8.5 is 8.5, a little bit more. And then this is 11.69, which is a little bit more than 11.5 inches. So that's 11.5 by 8.5 wide. Okay. Great. So I'm just going to cancel. And what I'm going to do now is, what I want to do is I want to go to Image, and I want to go to Canvas Size. Now, this will all be the same in your version as it is in my version. Okay, it won't be different. So you're going to literally do pretty much the same thing.
So that's canvas.
Yeah, image, canvas size. Now you get this canvas size dialog box. Now here's what you're going to do here. What you're going to do is, first of all, you want to pin it to that top corner right there. Okay, you want it to go wider and deeper. And you want to keep this image in that upper left-hand corner, okay?
All right.
And this is what you're going to do on all of these. You're going to open up the upper left-hand corner piece always, and you're going to work over and down.
All right.
That's probably the smartest way to go.
Sure.
All right, so if you take a look here, they have anchors. Now, right now, it's anchored in the middle. You don't want that. You want it to anchor in the upper left-hand corner. What that means essentially is this. Look at the way this diagram shows you. This should look exactly the same. Okay, it's showing you that the page is going to increase in size to the right and to the bottom. And it's going to keep that piece of artwork situated up in that upper left-hand corner.
And we're talking about the white corner beyond the image.
Yeah, right now we're talking about this whole image is going to stay up in that left-hand corner. You're going to see, when this thing expands out, you're going to see open area to the right and open area down. That's what you're looking for. Okay, now you can come up here and you can do this a number of different ways. And my guess would be the best thing to do this is because they should all be roughly the same size.
No, the art is going to be all over the place.
What do you mean?
It's going
no. I mean the 4 pieces that you're going to work in here are going to be the same general size.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So what you would do here is you would come over and you would change this from inches to percent. Okay. Now, when it does that, you see what it says? Width is 100% and height is 100%.
All right.
All right. You want it to be 200% because you're going to put 2 of them side by side and 2 at the bottom.
Sure.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So all this is pretty clear, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
that
we're
makes
going
sense,
to change this to 200%. Remember, it's pinned in the upper left-hand corner. 2, and we're going to go 2 here, 2 here.
And how did you pin it
2.
again? What did you click?
Hold on. I screwed this up a little bit. Let me get that back there. 2. Originally the thing was pinned in the middle there.
In the middle. Yeah.
And what I did was and it's called anchor.
Yeah.
Okay, and all I did was I clicked it in the upper left-hand corner, and my arrows point to the right, point down. That's the important thing. And it's 200%. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I want you to watch what happens here when I do this. I hit OK. Okay, so you see what happens?
Yep.
All right, now I'm going to go. Now I'm going to go View, Fit on Screen, and there you can see what's going on. You've got the corner of your Marvel magazine cover situated right there, and you have all this extra space. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the other pieces, and we're going to try to overlap them and get them to match up.
Right.
And then after we're all done overlapping and matching them up, we're going to trim it down to its final size. That's ultimately the plan here. Okay?
Great.
Right. So again, File, Save. So I'm saving as I go along so that if anything goes wrong, I'm good. All right?
Right.
Now, there's my layer. Layer 0, I'm going to change the name of that to up, I'm going to call it up, right. Up, sorry. No, I'm sorry. Up, left, yeah. Up, left. There we go. Got it right? Did I get that? Hold on a minute. I'm screwing this up. Up, left. L-E-F-T. Up, left. Now, I'm going to go File, Place. Where are we at? Place Embedded. Okay. And I'm going to go, that's up, right. Hit Place, and there it is. There's the other piece. Okay, Fantastic Four. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to hit Place. I'm not going to change the size of it because theoretically it should be the perfect size. Okay?
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this thing up and I'm going to try to get it to align properly. And it looks to me like you've actually, let's see, so there we are. Let me zoom in here so I can actually take a good look at this because I need to get it just right. See, I'm close, but no cigar. And I'm just going, right now, I have up, there's my up left. I'm going to go up right. Up right, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this thing into position because the stuff that I'm looking for exists over here, okay?
So you got this line too.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not there yet. I'm just basically beginning the process. So now what I'm going to do is just going to try to find where this thing lines up. And it doesn't look like it's lining up entirely right. Let me see if I move it over a little bit. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Let's bring it down some. Might have to go over just a bit more. You got to just keep playing with this a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm using the arrow tool here.
Yeah.
See now, right there. Oh, there. Here we go. Now we're better off. Now we're getting better. Now we're getting better. All right. And I think I'm a little bit high. Let's see. I might have to come over just a bit more. Come up. So it's really, that might be it. I might be close.
That's real close.
And I think I'm still off a bit.
That's real close.
So what I'm doing is I'm using these 4 arrows, the up, down, left, and right arrow. And I'm just basically moving it around until I get it where I want it. And that could be it. That could be it. Although I'm seeing it's a little bit off still. So I'm going to move it to the right a little bit more. And that actually even might be better. It might be closer. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at all of this, trying to get her right where it needs to be. That's no good. And I think that's probably good. Maybe one more? Nope. I think I'm off now. I'm starting to go too far. Probably want to be right about there. I'm guessing that that's probably pretty good. Okay?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go View, Fit Artboard, and Fit on Screen. Okay? And there he is. There's the 2 sections kind of together. All right? Now, I am going to do things shortly to maybe make this look a little tiny bit better, but I'm going to concentrate first on getting the 4 pieces in. All right, so those are the 2 pieces. I'm going to go File, Save. All right, and let's go File, Place, Embedded again. You could also place linked. It doesn't matter all that much. And if I'm not mistaken, what are we looking at here? I think, which side?
It probably has to be flipped over.
I'm not sure. Oh, they're upside down?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's.
Yeah, just the way I put them in the scanner.
Okay, so let's bring that in and let's go Place. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's take this thing and let's flip it around.
Okay.
And this. Okay, hold the Shift key down. So yeah, there we go. I want it to be perfect. So this goes to the left.
Yeah.
So this is bottom left, I guess. Let me
Yes.
let me hit place. File place. Oh, wait a minute. Get the selection tool. Place. There we go. Okay. Now this here is going to be bottom left. Bottom left. Okay. And what I would do probably with this is I probably would take up left and I would put up left above up right. And I would take bottom left and I would drag bottom left all the way to the bottom of the stack. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because this is already working, and this one here is just going to start to fill in on this guy. See what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
sure.
I'm kind of going in a certain direction because that's the logical way to go. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to zoom in here again, and I'm just going to take this guy, and I'm going to start easing it into position. I'll try to get it where I want this thing to be, roughly. And I don't know exactly. I think I still got a ways to go here. Might be close here. Where are we at? Oop, 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 oop. I think that's probably pretty close. Let me see. Where's his hand, though? Wait. Oh, it goes like that. Okay. All right. So something in the neighborhood of this over maybe. I think that might be pretty close.
Up a little.
Well, here's the thing you have to understand. First of all, there's lines that have to be cut out of there. So,
right.
So what I would do at this point is I'd take a second. See the line over here? That's got to be cut too. Yeah. So what I would do with this is I would actually do a little bit of surgery. I would probably start off by coming here, and I would create a basic shape, rectangular shape, and I would probably go somewhere in this neighborhood here. Oh, no, that's an oval. No. Select, deselect. I got the wrong shape. That's what I want, the rectangle. So I would probably come, I don't know how high up I can go. I think it's probably good right there. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to click on the upper left first, and I'm going to hit delete. Okay, and I deleted that part of it. And then I'm going to go upper right, and I'm going to delete that part. Oop. Upper right. Oh, I see what it is. All right, so I got to click on this, and I go this, because this is what I did was I brought this in, and this is a smart object.
All right.
Okay, so you see that little thing in the lower corner right there? It's telling me it's a smart object. So in order to make this so that I can get this to not be a smart object and I can actually work on this thing, I got to rasterize the layer. Okay, it's a layer, and it's a raster, or it's a smart object. So I rasterize it, and I go to the layer, and I go to rasterize. Where are we at? Yeah, rasterize smart object. Okay, now do you see that little icon went away?
Sure.
So now it's just a regular old bitmap, and I'm going to hit delete on that, and you see now that's gone. So you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm going to do a little more of this shortly, but I'm going to just take it one at a time. So now if we take a look at this thing, it's fairly close. I don't say select, deselect. It's fairly close. It's maybe not exactly on the money, but we're going to play with it and get it, see if we can get it on the money. So I'm going to try moving it up a little bit. This one, I got to go to the, let's go edit, undo. I think oh no, it's just deselected. Okay, we're good. I'm going to get the move tool, and I'm going to go to my bottom left layer, because that's the one I'm working on, and I'm going to try to move it over slightly, and I think actually maybe got to move it up. That's probably it. There we go. That's getting better. And I think maybe what I'm going to have to do is come over this way somewhat. Yeah, see what's happening here? It's a little bit off.
It might have to come down a little bit.
Yeah, but the problem is, see, this side is on, this side is not on.
It's a little twisted.
Right. Yeah. Not. Yeah. So exactly. It came out a little bit crooked. So that's where we run into a problem with this. Is when you have something like this occur. So it's the best you can do actually when you get into this situation. Let me see. It'd probably be better to do this, and then maybe go this way slightly. Yeah, it's not going to be 100% perfect, but it'll be as close as you can get it under these circles. Let's try moving it down a little bit more. Maybe I can get it a little bit better by doing this. See, it's going off the other way
It's
now.
going off the other way.
Right.
Is it possible to twist it?
Yeah, but
Pivot it?
it may not work. That's the problem. Let me see. Let me go view. Let me view. Zoom out. All right, let's see here. Let's go to edit, transform, rotate. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take that point of rotation, all right, and I want to drag it up. I think, first of all, let me get this thing in the proper position. There, that's about as good as you're going to get there.
Right.
All right, now what you're going to do here is this. I'm going to try to come over here. I'm going to try to come here. You see that upper corner right there?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that point of rotation, if I can, click on it, and I'm going to drag it up and put it in that corner right there. Okay? So what I'm doing instead of rotating it is skewing it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that by skewing this thing, I might be able to get this a little bit better. So now what I'm going to do is, you see how my little cursor is curved like that?
Yes.
See it?
Yes.
Okay. I can come in here now and I can rotate this thing slightly. And let's see. So you see it? See what it's doing?
Yep, it's pivoting around.
Yeah, but
here.
it's not really giving me, that's about as close as I'm going to get with it. That's about as close as I'm going to get with it, unfortunately. So let me see if I come down just a slight bit more. That's, see the legs off there a little bit? Yeah, so it's kind of like a, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing with something like this. That's why this sort of thing is so tough to do.
Right, right.
So your best bet is to, there you go, that's probably, this is off a little tiny bit. Noticeable? Maybe, you know, but probably in the size you're using, it probably won't be. But that's probably about as good as you're going to get with that.
Right.
Okay, and hit place. Okay, so you get it? What I'm doing so far makes sense?
Yes, sort of. It's a little, it's about as complex as I was prepared for, you know, so.
Yeah.
But it's good, you know.
So we've got it more or less 3/4 of the way in here. There's some offage here, but there's a way to deal with this. All right, let me put the 4th piece in place, and then I'll show you how to deal with that. So let's go File, Place. Place embedded again. And this one, oh boy, which one did we use? Which one did we use? I think it's this one.
I think we used that one.
I don't know.
No, I think you need that one. Yeah, you need that one.
Place. Okay, and let's turn it around. And again, what I'm going to do is hold the Shift key down. And what the Shift key does is it makes sure that it's as straight as it can possibly be under this circumstance.
Okay.
All right, now. And then again, this is going to go all the way. Oh, I first of all hit this to place it. All right, that's your selection tool. See, and you get that. It tells you to place it.
Yeah.
And you hit place. Now, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to call this one bottom right. And then bottom right. Okay, and now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to try to find, there we go. I'm going to try to find its position by, okay, bottom right, there we go. I've got to select the layer. Now come up here and let's see if we can get this thing positioned properly here. That's probably pretty close. Come up, and that's actually pretty close. Let me see. I think so. I think that's pretty close. What do you say?
Yeah, see that?
Let me go view. Here, look. View,
Yeah.
fit on screen. There it is.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what you end up with, essentially.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So you good with that?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is this. We're going to come in here now, and I'm going to throw some guides out because I want to see something. So here's my guide. I'm bringing my guide out. And you see how that line looks pretty straight?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prepare to get this thing to fill the artboard, fill this open area. To do that, I'm going to come up here, okay, and I'm actually going to pick the crop tool. See the crop tool?
All right.
Yeah. And I'm going to click on the crop tool, and I'm going to very carefully come to the very edge of this thing, and I'm just going to drag a marquee around the entire image and get as much of that image as I possibly can get. Now I'm going to go on the inside just a hair because I don't want the black crap around the outer edge showing. Right. So I select that, okay, and I go image crop. Oh, what happened? Here it's cropping.
Okay.
There you go. Now I'm going to go select. Whoops. Come on. Select. Deselect. Oh, actually, it is. Let's go view guides. Hide guides. I can clear them, I guess. Okay, so there we go. I have a little bit up at the top here that has to be trimmed slightly. And what I can do to get rid of that top, to get that top cleaner, is I go back to the image and go to canvas size again, okay? And then this time what I want to do, first of all, see how this is a height of 15.437 inches?
Right.
Okay, so I don't want it, I want the bottom to stay stationary. So what I'm going to do is, this time I'm going to click on the bottom anchor, not the upper left-hand corner anchor, because I want this to be left alone. I want to shrink it this way.
Yes,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to shrink it this way, but I want to shrink it this way. So I'm going to go with the height, and I'm going to try, I don't know what the number is, but I'm going to do this to 4 and hit the backspace, and let's see what happens. Hit OK. Proceed. See, the canvas is going to be smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Hit OK or proceed. You see that little tiny bit went away.
Right. You
Okay.
just shrunk the canvas
Tiny bit.
by
Tiny bit.
a part of a percent or something.
Yep,
Yeah.
and it was enough to get rid of that black line up
Right.
there. So now you got what looks like essentially a finished piece. So here's the problem. The problem is some of this stuff is not working very well. So how I would deal with that is this. First of all, I would take my upper corner and I would hide that for a minute. You can see there's a whole lot of that stuff there. You see that? See? Look, there's a whole lot of this stuff. Here's your problem. See, all this stuff is no good? Watch what I'm going to do. Because I know I got a whole lot of this. Watch when I hide the back one. You see, I'm all the way over to here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can put a guide out, and you can see what I'm talking about. The front one goes all the way to here. That's the up left, goes all the way to here.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to hide that one, and I'm going to show you the back. Now, the back one goes all the way over to here.
Mm-hmm.
So I got huge amount of overlap.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to bring this back, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully come in here with this tool here called the Polygon Lasso tool. Okay? And I'm going to start off by coming here, and I'm going to click. I'm going to go right down between where it says the world's greatest comic magazine. You see how I'm going between it?
Yes.
Clicking. Then I'm going to come over to here, and I'm clicking again. Okay? What I'm doing is I'm placing this thing between these elements because I'm going to throw some of this stuff away to try to clean this up a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to come down to here, click. Then I'm going to come over to here and click. I'm going to come down to here and click. I'm going to come down close to the surfer, come very close here, come very close here, and here. And then I'm going to come close here and be careful here and here. Okay, I'm not touching him, but I'm coming close to him. Come here. And this will make sense in a minute when you see what happens. Click here. Keep clicking close to the surfer, right? I'm almost hitting his little black line there. Come down here. Come down here. Very close, all right? And there's a reason for this. Come over to here. And I think I might not have to do any more. No, I don't. And then I'm going to come over to here, okay? Now, I'm off of that image. I'm outside the scope of that image, which is where I want to be. Make sense so far?
Right. Yep.
Now I'm going to come all the way up to the top, and I'm going to click there. Then I'm going to come over to where I began, and you see the little circle that appears there?
Yes.
It's hard to see, but there's a little circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's telling me it's about to connect. Now I got a selection. You see what I did?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Now I'm going to make sure that I'm on the up left piece, okay? And I'm going to try hitting delete. And the delete makes that go away. And I'm going to go select, deselect, and there's a little bit of funniness down here, but you can see this is much cleaner now. See how that's much cleaner?
Yeah.
There's a little tiny bit right there. And if I really wanted to make this thing look a little bit better, I'd go back in with my polygon lasso tool,
Right,
okay?
right.
And I'd come over here and I would simply, you see what I'm going for is a little bit of a color change there. I'd just come around this little tiny bit. You don't have to do all of it. Just come around this little tiny bit right here, okay? And I'm going to cut that out too, just for the hell of it, to make it look better. And I'm going to delete that, see? And now I'm going to go select, deselect, and see, that even looks a little bit better, okay?
Yeah, it's because you have so much extra to play with.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm trying to get this thing as clean as I possibly can. All right? That's really the whole point of this. Now, I do have a problem with this here. There is a possibility. Let me see if I go to the bottom. All right, so there's the bottom one. No, that's the left one, isn't it? This is the right one. And that's not the one that's showing. So it's this guy right here. And see, it's still off. So that one is the closest one. Now let me see what these, and which one am I on here? So there's that one, okay, and there's this one, okay, and there's this one here. This is the one that I'm going for. So what I'm going to maybe do, I don't know how this is going to work out. It's very hard to say. I'm going to go File, Save, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the View menu. Here's my cursor. What happened to my cursor?
There somewhere.
Yeah, I know. It's misbehaving. What's going on? Oh, come on, man. Where's my cursor go?
Is your light on there?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it's
Maybe it pulled out of the USB or something.
There we go. It's back. I don't know what's going on with it. All right, so let me go to the guides. Let's go to View, Guides, Clear Guides. Okay, so I'm going to go File, Save. All right, so save this. I don't know how this is going to work out. Now, I'll also have a little bit of a problem with this here. So I'm going to hide the upper, that one there. Okay, so what I think I'm going to try to do with this, see this? See how this area don't match up real well?
Right.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here very carefully, and I'm going to click right about here. See what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to come around like this, just like this. See what I'm doing?
Right.
All right, I'm going to come around here. I'm hoping that this is going to work. We'll see whether this does. All right, so I'm going to try to do this as carefully as possible. Come up around this thing here, and come over like this, come out to here, come over to here, come down to here, and now close this off. Okay, now I'm in my upper left-hand one. I'm going to hit Delete, and now select, deselect, and can you see how that matches up much better?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to carefully clean this thing up as best as I can,
yeah.
Okay, because these things have to match up to do it. Now, this here...
That's on the original. That looks like a mistake or something, but that's here.
What?
This. That looks...
Yeah, yeah.
That
No,
looks...
but what I was concerned about more is this ankle area right
okay.
there. You know?
Right. I'm just saying, this thing really... I'm amazed that that's like that, because that looks wrong.
Well, you know, these, let me tell you, this was a very complicated thing to do, and they didn't do it with computers, you know?
Yeah, well, he should have, it's something that should have been drawn properly.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the way the cover looks.
Yeah. So, all right, so this is where we are. Let me go view. Let's see where we're at. View, fit on screen. So we end up with something like that. So I guess the question is, are you okay with this? Let's go to this. There's one other thing I see I can do here. Okay, so, and that is, I'm wondering if it's possible for me to, again, take this polygon lasso, and I can possibly do this. Let me click here, and let me come up to here, and let me click here, and let me go over to here, And let me go to here, say, okay? And let me start coming down this way and to about there. I'll see whether I have to redo this again.
See if it,
come up like this,
if
come
it
up like
overlaps
this.
in that area.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this area that looks like it's funky.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see whether I can make it look better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to click on this because I still have plenty in the background. I'm going to take the upper left one and hit delete. And yeah, see, that didn't really work out. Let's go edit, undo, clear. Yeah, it didn't really work out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm not going to do that. Let me see what I can do with this. I can try moving it, maybe. No, let me go here. Yeah, nope, that ain't it either. All right, let me try. Let's see here. Let's go to window. Let's go to history. All right, history, and let me get out of the. Let me go back to polygon lasso. Okay, go back to polygon lasso. All right, now. So what do I want to do with this? If I can. Oh, I meant it's here, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. All right, so I want to go clear. Clear, that's good. So I'm here. This is where my problem is. But I don't know. See, the problem is that.
It's probably because it's twisted a little bit.
Yeah, it's way over there.
So it has to be pivoted or something.
Yeah, I don't know whether I can do this. Let me try the upper left-hand corner. Let's go edit, transform, rotate, and again, you see? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I forgot to deselect that. Go select, deselect. There we go. Okay. Now I gotta go edit, transform, rotate. There we go. And now let's go view, zoom out again so I can get a look at that pivot point in the middle. Where's my point of rotation? Did I do edit? I did, right? Edit,
yeah.
Transform, rotate. I did. Where's my point? Oh, I know what the problem is. The problem is on screen. Where's my point of rotation? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's way up there. So I'm going to click on this guy here. And once again, I'm going to bring it back up to the corner, right up to that corner right there. Okay, and then I'm going to see if I can maybe just slightly move this around a little tiny bit. Let's see, just a little bit does it. Okay, and now apply. See that? It actually worked pretty good. It's much better, much better. See that?
Yep.
Now, it's not perfect, but it's much better. And I don't think anybody would be able to notice that. So there you go. That's how this is done.
Okay.
All right.
And then you take all of this all the layers have to be put on one layer.
Yeah. So what I would do is the next step would be for me. So first of all, just make sure everything's good the way you want it. I see another little thing here that I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get rid of this entirely. But what you can do here is you can come over here and you can get this tool right here. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm on the right layer. I'm going to be on the upper left layer. Yeah, that's the upper left layer. And I want to make this smaller. So I'm going to use my fancy bracket. And I'm making this thing smaller. See how I'm making it smaller? And I have opacity 100% and flow 100%. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be erasing some of this. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to bring the flow down to very small numbers, like maybe around 19, and the opacity. Well, let's see what the flow does first. Stamp. Oh, I don't want the stamp. I want the eraser tool. That's wrong. Wrong tool. Hold on. Let me get it. There it is right there, the eraser tool. Okay, and the flow is set to 5%, and the opacity is 100% for now. Let's see if this works. I got to make it bigger. I'm going to use the fancy bracket to the right. See, you see it getting bigger? See that little thing there?
Yes.
That's showing you what your eraser is doing. This is an eraser tool. So I'm gonna subtly erase some of this to blend it in a little bit. Okay? I'm cosmetically messing with this to make it look good. All right?
That's good.
So now I'm just going to carefully come in here and I'm going to start working over top of this area here. I want to hide that line. See how the line is disappearing?
Yes.
Yeah, so what it's doing essentially is it's hiding the subtlety, it's hiding the imperfection. See that? And it's almost gone. I've almost got that imperfection gone. Look at that. See?
Is it showing the other layer, or is it just what?
Yeah, let me show you. Watch. Look.
Oh, okay.
See what it's doing?
Okay.
That's why they call it an eraser, because it's actually erasing that part of the layer.
Okay, good.
All right, so now you're seeing through it, and it's doing it in such a way that it hides that imperfection. All right, so now that looks a little bit better, and I'm going to move around and see if there's any other easy areas that I can get. See, now I got problems in here. I can maybe on which layer there? That's that. Okay, so it's going to be this layer right here. Yeah, that layer right there. So what I'm going to do is go on this layer, and with the eraser tool, I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to erase this a little tiny bit. See, so I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to, you know, get rid of a little bit of that line. See? I'm trying to get a little of that line to go away so that it doesn't look quite as obvious. That's all I'm doing. I got plenty of stuff underneath it, so I can erase a little bit of that line to clean it up. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to come down and I'm going to hide some of this line. Oh, that one I got to be on the, this one I can't do actually. It's got to be on this one, right? Yeah, so that's the right one. So I got to make sure I'm on that one right there. And oh, I see. Again, see what the problem is?
Right.
That is a smart object.
Has to turn
all right, so actually
raster.
what would be a smart thing for me to do at this point is to take all of them and go to Layer, Rasterize, Smart Object. Now that's raster. And do the same thing with this one, because I may end up going there and doing something with that too. So I'm going to again go Layer, Rasterize, Smart Object. Okay, now all the layers have been rasterized. I'm on this layer. Okay, I'm going to see if I can clean this up slightly. Okay, I clean this up slightly, and yeah, let me see if I can clean this up a little tiny bit. Clean it up just a bit. See there, just see how it's by softening it. See how by softening it, see what it does?
Yep.
See what it does? It cleans it up and it hides the fact that there's some inconsistencies with that line. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
And this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to hide some of this stuff. Hide a little bit of this stuff. This is basically fool the eye kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Now, is it better to do this maybe than the what is it, the polysthetic whatever, cutting out the section there?
Oh, no. This is, it's part of a process. What you want to do is you want to align the pieces as much as you possibly can.
Okay.
And then this is just this little eraser thing here, the eraser tool, is just one other little mechanism that you use to hide,
clean it up,
hard edges. Because you get hard edges and you're going to hide them. So let's go to the view menu and see what we got. View, fit, artboard, and screen. There you have it. That's what we have so far. So what do you think? Is that like good enough for you to work with?
Yeah, tremendously good.
Okay, so now we're just going to go File, Save. Now, as far as final saving this is concerned, I mean, I have no idea what you're going to do with it, so I'm not exactly sure how. Let me look at one more thing here while we're at it. Take a risk on this one. Let's see if we can do something with this. All right, I got this thing saved. Let me see, File, Save. Yeah, so let me bring out my history panel, and let me explain the history panel to you, because this is something that you probably want to use too. Go to the window menu and bring out your history panel. Okay, now all of this here, let me hide all this stuff. I only want the history panel. All of this, get rid of that. All of this is what I've done so far. It's recording everything that I've done. And you can see I used eraser a lot, so I got a lot of eraser stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come here and I'm going to go clear history. Okay, so I've cleared the history. All right, now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to mess with this a little bit here and see if I can make this even a little bit, make this look a little more even, okay?
All right, yeah.
All right. It may not work, but I'm going to give it a shot,
Right.
okay? All right, so I clear the history so I can watch this occur, and you can watch this occur.
Yep.
And then if it doesn't go right, I know how to get back to
Come back to this.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So again, I'm going to get the eraser tool. I've got the flow set very low, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm very carefully just going to start erase. I'll make sure. Let's go edit undo. All right. Edit undo eraser. Make sure I'm on the up one, the top one. That's the one that I want, the top one right here, the up left.
Yep.
All right. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to very carefully come in here, and I'm going to see if I can start erasing a little bit.
And it's erasing the top left or the one?
It's erasing the top left.
All right.
It should be erasing the top left. I can't tell whether it's doing it or not, actually. Yeah, it is. And it's not exactly working out. What's happening is it's not lined up properly.
Right.
Okay, so what I would do is I'd come back to erase. I'd go back to erase save there, and I'd bring it back.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that I could do, and I'm not even sure that this is going to work, but here's another possibility. All right. And I'm just trying to show you things that you can consider doing that might help.
Right.
All right.
Right.
So this one here, what I could do is, this one is okay, it's that one. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to make a little bit of a selection just like that. Okay?
Yes.
And with that layer up left selected, I'm going to go layer, new, layer via copy. All right? And now what I've done is, just so that you understand, I've created a copy of that little bit of his leg.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So I'm going to bring all this back so that you can see what I'm about to do. Now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to zoom in on this because I want to see if I can pull this off. Okay. So I've zoomed in on this. I click this layer, all right, because that's the little piece that I want to work on.
Right.
I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to go transform, and I want to go perspective or distort. I'm going to try perspective first. So do you see my little selection?
Yes.
All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully grab this corner, and I'm just going to pull this corner out. See how I'm pulling that corner out?
Mm-hmm.
And actually that ain't going to work. So I'm going to, again, go to my history panel, and I'm going to, well, actually click on this and go don't apply. Okay, so what I want to do is this then. Instead of using the perspective, I'm going to use the distort. Yeah. So I'm going to go. So is this? I'm not losing you or anything.
No. I'm struggling to keep up, and I think
you
I
have it all
what you're
recorded.
saying.
You can go back in and you can watch it again. All right.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go edit, transform, distort. Edit, transform, distort. Okay. Now what I can do is I can hold down the shift key, click on this line right there, and I can bring that line over. You see what I just did?
That's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do. And look at, actually, when I did that, you see what it did over here? It pulled that into position properly too, didn't it?
It sure did.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing.
So there's all kinds of ways that you can fool around with this thing to fix this.
Yep.
It's not so easy, though, is it? It's not a 1, 2, 3 thing.
No.
That's the thing that you have to understand. So it all comes down to how good you really want these to look.
Well, it comes down to how straight the originals are.
Yeah, but they're never going to be perfectly straight. Unless you have a really good scanner and somebody who knows what they're doing really well with the scanner. If you're doing it on a average scanner, you're never going to get it. It's got to be a really good scanner, and the person really has to know what they're doing to get them perfect. And even with that, you're probably going to have to do some of this work. So, you know, don't feel bad about that. It's just the nature of the beast.
No, I need to learn how to do all these.
Well, it's being recorded. So let's go. Let's do this, and let's go apply. And now that's more or less deal with. I mean, it's still a little bit off, but it's minimized. Now, again, what I can do is I can take this thing here, and I can try. I don't know whether this is going to work, but I'll certainly give it a try. Come over to the eraser tool and make sure I'm on this guy right here and make this a little bit smaller. And I use the fancy brackets. This is the left one. Makes it smaller. Yeah. The right one makes it bigger. Smaller, and then make sure that you have the flow set very small because you don't want a whole lot to come to go away. And I'm just going to carefully hit that line. I'll make sure I'm on this one. Yeah. And actually, better yet, no, I think I can. I got to use this one. It's the one I got to use. And I'm not sure it's going to work. No, it's not working. No, it's not working. So go to my layers panel and let's go back to that and let's not do that because it isn't going to work. All right, it just is not going to work unless, let me see. Yeah, see, it's so far off.
Right.
It just isn't going to work.
Yeah.
That's all.
I know.
All right. The only other thing that I can think of is you could maybe clone stamp it a little bit, but then I think you're really getting in the weeds with this. I think the best thing to do is to accept it the way you got it. And let's see. Let's go over here. Yeah, see, there's a lot over here. Let's go to the view menu and let's fit on screen. I don't know. Can you live with that? I think that's probably, I think we pushed it probably as far as we could go.
I think so.
You think that's reasonable?
I think it's reasonable, sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't really think anybody is going to be looking hard enough to notice it. You and I would notice it because we did it.
Well, this is just a trial, just to get the formula.
Yep.
Yeah, to learn the formula.
Right. But this one, I mean, this one essentially is done. I mean, what we did here would be what you would be ended up doing with the other, so it's essentially done.
Yeah.
So what we would do then is just go File, Save, okay? And I would leave the PSD file, I would leave it like this, okay? Now what you can do is you can select all of them like I just did there, okay?
Right.
And I did that by selecting the first one, holding the Shift key down, and clicking on the last one and see all of them select.
Sure.
And then if you want, you can come over here and see that folder. And it's going to be called, it's called Create a New Group.
All right.
Now watch what happens. I click on that, and what it does is it puts all of them into that grouped folder. Okay? And this is, we'll call this page. Can you read what I wrote? Page assembly?
Yeah, that's okay.
Page assembly. Okay? So now I have page assembly, and it's actually, it's not flattened, but it is all in that folder, and it's behaving like a grouped object. Okay? And you want to keep the original PSD intact like this because you want to be able to maybe go back in and modify it later on. So now the question is, what exactly are you going to do with this thing? Is it going to be part of a book? If it's going to be part of a book, then what you're going to do is you're going to export it in the size that you need in the file format that you want, which would probably be a TIFF format. So the thing is, give me a size. What size do you think this might be? This is also a trial. It's not, you know.
In inches or in megabytes?
In inches.
Yeah, it probably.
Give me a width. What would be a width or would a depth? What would be more important, the depth on it or the width on it? And again, this is not something you're going to use. It's just to show you how to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. It could be a 9 by 7.
All right. So,
like that.
well, I'm not going to do. I'm going to go. You want 9 height?
9 height.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do, because I don't know whether I'm going to get 9 by 7. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Save As. Okay, this is the first thing. I'm leaving this alone. Or we could call this Surfer. Do you want to call it Silver Surfer?
Sure.
LVER-S. U-R-F-E-R. How to spell it? S-U-R-F-E-R?
Yeah.
S-U-R-F-E-R. Silver Surfer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this down to a TIFF. See, all the way at the bottom.
All right.
So it's going to be a TIFF. And let's see what we got here. Layers. Do you see the layers?
Yes.
Okay, we don't want layers. So when you save it as a TIFF, we're going to name it whatever you want to name it.
Right.
Save it as a TIFF. You're going to deselect layers. Now, what that does essentially is, see, this will give you a warning. All it's telling you is you're not going to, your layer, it's going to flatten the image, which is what you want, right? And then, and you're going to hit Save. And you're going to come in here, image compression. You don't want any image compression. Okay.
No.
And as far as this is going,
and so
IBM PC, it doesn't really matter because it'll open up in either way anyway. So I would just leave it all alone, and then see discard layers and save a copy. So that's what it's telling you. So you just want to make sure that you compress it. You don't need to compress it, unless that you're told to compress it by your publisher.
No, we talked about that and everything, and it's just going to degrade stuff. So
absolutely. That's why you don't want to do it.
They're going to leave everything the way I originally scanned it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Does it give you a megabyte size, a total here?
In the end, it will.
Okay.
All right. And did I set the size in this? I forget.
I don't think we did.
Let me hit cancel.
I don't think
All right.
we
So let me go back here and let's go file, save as. Or you know what? Oh, okay. No. Okay. Stupid me. I was heading in the right direction. SILVER-SURSER. I was heading in the right direction. You see, the problem is I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. So Silver Surfer TIFF layers, I'm going to remove the layers and I'm going to hit save. Okay, comes up, no compression. Okay, and discard layers and save a copy and hit OK. All right, now, two things. Notice that this is in RGB.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I want to do is I want to go File, Open, and I want to come in here and I want to find my Silver Surfer right there. Click on that and click Open. There it is. Now I'm going to come over here and make sure I don't mess this up. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to close the PSD because I'm going to leave that alone just for emergency because you may end up having to go back in and do some other things with it.
Yeah.
So you want to keep that intact.
You want to keep it intact.
Right. Close that. Save changes. Yes. I hope it didn't do what I think it did. I don't think so. Okay, so here it is. It's saving. Come on. There we go. There's your Silver Surfer. This is the one that you're going to use. There's two things that you need to do with this. The first thing you need to do is go to the image menu, and you're going to change the mode from RGB to CMYK.
Okay.
All right. You're about to convert to CMYK using the US web-coded SWO profile. That's probably okay, so I'm going to hit OK. And now it changes it from RGB to CMYK. And that's a very important thing to do because you're going to print it. It has to be in CMYK.
Okay.
All right. You need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The next thing, go to Image and go to Image Size. And right now the image size has a width of 10.493 and a height of 15. So what was the number you said? What was the size you said?
Get the height down to like 9.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this thing from 15 to 9. And notice that it automatically adjusts the width to 6.132. Okay, so you don't have to worry about anything else because you're reducing this, you're not making it bigger. So that resolution can stay the way it is. Now, the only thing that you might want to do, this is by Cubic Sharper. You might want to sharpen this thing. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got automatic, preserve details. That's for enlargement. Preserve, now these are all for enlargement. Reduction base by Cubic Sharper, by Cubic Smoother, best for grade. I would say probably by Cubic Sharper. We should just leave it alone at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's now going to be 9 by 6.123, 600 pixels per inch, and hit OK. And there it is.
So it's
and it's now let me just one more thing. Silver Surfer TIFF in CMYK to the size that you indicated. And I go File, Save. And now, what were your question?
So what resolution is this? It's 600
pixels per inch. Watch
DPI.
Yeah, watch. We'll go back to it. Go to Image and go to Mode. Where are we at here? Right there. No, Image Size. Sorry, Image Size. The resolution is 600 pixels per inch, and the width is 6.132. So it's 6 and under a quarter.
Sure.
Because it would be 6.125 for a quarter.
Sure.
So it's under 6 and a quarter, 6 and an eighth, something like that. It's an odd number, but that's okay. And then a height of 9. It is proportionally what is correct based on 9 depth. All right. So yeah. So I hit cancel. So that one's done. That's what you're going to do.
That's terrific.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do.
Okay, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Would you be able to export that onto the jump drive that I have?
Sure.
Or is that
no? Well, wait a minute.
Because that's what I'm.
Yeah, here's the deal.
Do.
Okay, so here's the deal. What we need to do then is let's go back to File, Save As, or you know what? This one here is a TIFF. It's probably okay. We'll just leave that alone. But what we need to do is we need to go File, Open. Give me a minute. And we need to open my PSD up again. Hit Open. And what we need to do is we need to go File, Save As. Okay, so there it is, page assembly. There, see, all my layers are there.
Yep.
I want to keep them all intact. I'll leave it open so you can see it. And I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as a PSD as a copy. All right, and hit Save, and hit OK. Are you going to let me do this? Where's my... oh, save or what? No, it's no. Save as. I thought I would get a pop-up that gives me the option to save this in a legacy form. Oh my God! Let me see. Save. File. Save as. That's being saved. Okay. What's going on here? File. Save as. Copy. See, it's here saved. I'm not getting the ability to save it legacy. Silver Surfer. Oh, I know. Maybe that's a problem. No, it's PSD. Yeah. Let's see here. As a copy with layers. PSD. Save. Turning the next one. Okay. See, it's not giving me the opportunity to save this thing to legacy. I'm afraid what's going to happen is you're going to have trouble opening it. Maybe not. Why don't we try opening it up while you're here?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right. So let me do this. Let me do this. Let me come back in here. And so here's your folder. So let's do this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder. All right, a new folder. And I'm just going to call this work. Okay, so these will be all your work files. And in here will be that guy right there, these three, okay, Silver Surfer, and these two right there. And Silver Surfer is the one that I have open right now. That's a PSD. All right, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to minimize this, and then I'm going to, where's your drive? Let me have your drive again. Put your drive back in here. Right. And we're going to call this thing, I'm going to change this to Silver Surfer. Whoops. Hold on. Let me change this to Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer. All right. And now I'm going to go to that and drag it in there like that. Uh-oh. So you don't have enough space on this.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
I have, no. I could let you borrow a drive. I just have to go get one. All right, hold on.
All right.
You have another drive?
I don't, we only need it to get it in here to transfer.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'll get another drive. I have plenty on it. So
yeah.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's see what we can do with this. Kick that out. Try this one. Okay. And okay, let's see if this works. Okay, we're good. It's going to do it. All right, so let this thing copy in here, and then I'll give it to you.
How big is everything there?
No idea. I mean, I can't tell you. Let me show details. Well, maybe I can tell you. It's well, looks like 1 point something gigabyte. That's about what It, you know, somewhere in the process of loading. So we're at 1 gigabyte right now, so it's got to be bigger. It's probably under 2 gigabytes. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah.
Yeah, these are pretty big files. 300 pixels per inch. Think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. A web design is like 72 pixels per inch. So you got 600 pixels per inch. That's a huge amount of data. You know, it's all detail. That's why all those little imperfections and everything come up so strong, because you got so much detail in there. But that's what makes the picture cool, because that, you know, it's got that age. It's got that patina from being around. It's a, you know.
That's what they want.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
What the book is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. People love this stuff. They collect this stuff like crazy.
It's the 100th. It would be the 100th birthday of this artist.
Very cool.
Frankel. You know, so the book is for the commemoration of that 100th birthday.
Very cool.
Towards the end of the year. And thankfully, there's not that many oversized, and a lot of the oversized are just in halves. You know, they're not in quarters. They're just matching 2 halves together.
Okay.
So that saves a lot of grief too.
Yeah, you're going to basically do the same sort of thing that we're doing here, but now if this doesn't work on your computer, you're going to have to redo it, I guess. Or
I'm not really that concerned about it. All I want to do on my computer is make sure that the Adobe that I have is comparable to
well, when you open it up, I'll look at it.
Right.
I'll go in and I'll look at it and I'll see
if I could maybe.
What version is it again?
5.
5. So it would have been 6, and then it would have been Creative Cloud.
Yeah.
5 and 6. Yeah, you're probably fine. I think you can do most everything that I did. You can do here. The only thing that I question is it in 5? You may end up having to unlock your layer by double-clicking the layer as opposed to clicking on the little lock. That might be the only thing, and that's such a subtle thing. The rest of this stuff that I did is all stuff that you would do in version 5. So all you need to do is refer to my video, and you'll have the mechanisms in place that will get you to do all these things. Okay, because I think I did it pretty much. I mean, when you do things like this without being prepared, I just did them on the fly. I didn't actually have this, and I prepared a path. I was just kind of winging it as I go through there. And then I'm talking to you, and I'm trying to keep track of what I'm doing. And, you know, that's always tricky because, you know, you're like, if you're doing one thing, you should be concentrating on it. When you're doing 2 things, you can easily flub up here, you know.
Make sure, while we're waiting, can I get the YouTube address? All right.
Yeah.
So
hold on a minute.
Get to this.
Yeah, I'll do this. Let me get this thing done. Just I could do that. Let me go to here, and let me go to let's go to William Sweeney. All right, here's William Sweeney. Okay, so this is my YouTube channel. I'm going to click, I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to compose, type in your web address.
And going to give me a link?
Yeah, I'm going to email to you. What's your email address?
Oh, okay, okay.
Just type in your email address. That's
okay.
All. It's easier for you to do it. You good?
Did that come out good? Where am I?
RALDIGHTS.
There's no D. Why did they put a D in there?
RALF. Get rid of the D. Right?
Yes.
That it?
That's me.
Vincent. Ralph Vincent. Okay. Now this is Bill's. Okay. Bill YouTube. And then Control V. Enter. That should do it. And hit, see, there you go. Look at that face.
Perfect.
Hit send. There you go.
Perfect.
All right, that's it. And I think that I can get this down now. Let's see where we're at here. We're still loading this.
That's the link for your channel or just for this video?
No, that's the link for my video. What I will do is I will upload. I'm going to probably go in and clean this up a little bit. Maybe I'll knock some of this part out, clean it up, clean the beginning, clean the end, and then maybe remove some of this stuff, dead stuff in the middle. Maybe I won't even bother, really. It's not going to be that big a deal. And then all I'll do is I'll upload it later today. So if you go tonight like, you know, after 6 o'clock tonight, you should be able to find it up there. Okay,
Terrific.
and I'm going to
Yeah.
use your name for the lesson, you know. Yeah. So you'll find it. It'll be no problem.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and up here, what my YouTube site really is, basically, is it's where all of my lessons are. This is all of my lessons for my college, DES 242 Logo and Identity Design, for instance. These are all the different, here's DES 244 Packaging. Okay, so these are all where I'm teaching courses online, and I upload everything there. And I also do videos for, like, for instance, graphic things, you know. So there's a lot of my stuff up here.
Yeah, that's great.
So
that's great.
Okay, so it should be momentarily.
Yeah, that's a lot of information for one picture. Well, they should be about 600 each. You know,
yeah, so that's a lot of data. That's a lot of information. 600 pixels every inch, you know, as opposed to 72 pixels per inch. So, you know, you're going to print something, you want the print to be real clean and beautiful, or at least natural in this case, because it has a patina to it. It's aged. It's not a brand new image. It's a kind of a, you know, old, haggard looking piece.
Oh,
but that's
just some amazing drawings.
Yeah,
this is really
it's incredible.
Yeah, and they all vary because he would draw on anything. He was very prolific. And if he had envelopes, he would go get flyers, like stacks of flyers, because he liked the paper. Just turn it over and start drawing. And if you look at this beautiful drawing, you turn it over, and there's some kind of a flyer for real estate or from a supermarket.
That's
something.
Crazy.
But he loved that. This paper is gorgeous. Paper. He would go take that paper.
Yeah,
you know.
And he probably had favorite types of pencils and favorite types of pens, and
the paper was the main thing. The pencils,
the tooth of the paper,
not so much. Yeah, the look and feel of the paper.
Right.
If he was happy with that, he would just keep going, because he would use the very, very fine art marker.
Yeah.
You know, so he'd be banging out stuff on that and do overlays. You know, so there's a lot of vellum that he worked on and that type of thing. But it's just absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Okay, so that's that. Let's come in here and let's go to this and let's eject it. Safe to remove. There you are.
Fabulous.
Put it on there, and we'll see if you can open that Photoshop file up. If you can open that Photoshop file up, you're set to go. All right, now are we done with this?
Yes.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to stop recording.